Chapter 1: Beneath the Ice. It was a day like no other when the crew aboard the research ship, the Explorer, felt excitement and wonder twirling inside their hearts. The wind whistled a cold tune as icebergs floated by, majestic and ancient, under a sky so blue it seemed endless. The ship, strong and sturdy, had sailed through rough waters and biting cold, bringing together scientists, explorers, and a few curious souls, all eager to uncover secrets hidden beneath layers of ice older than time itself. As the Explorer moved closer to the heart of Antarctica, the crew donned their thickest coats, woolen hats, and gloves, ready to face the chill that seeped through every crack and crease of the deck. The icy air was sharp, but their spirits were high. The talk on board was constantly buzzing with a mixture of hope, mystery, and a hint of fear about what lay beneath their feet. Shielded by sheets of silent, unmoving ice, Dr. Emily Carter, A.A., geologist with a passion for ancient histories, stood at the bow of the ship, peering into the horizon through binoculars. Her cheeks were red from the cold, her breath visible as small clouds in the crisp Antarctic air. Emily had spent years studying ancient texts and maps that hinted at civilizations existing long before our time, lost to myths and stories passed down through generations. Most people dismissed these tales as just that, tales, but Emily held onto a feeling deep in her gut that there was more to be discovered if only you knew where and how to look. As the ship's crew gathered in the meeting room later that day, the ship's captain, Captain James Morgan, a seasoned sailor with silver hair and a calming presence, stepped forward. His eyes twinkled with adventure, as if stories of the past had always been written in the waves for him alone to read. "We've arrived at the coordinates that have sparked so much debate and curiosity among scientists and the curious for years," he announced, his voice steady and clear. Underneath this thick, impenetrable ice could lie the echoes of early civilization's entire city. According to the ancient maps consulted by Dr. Carter, a murmur ran through the room. Some eyes were wide with excitement, others squinted with skepticism. Yet all were caught in the spell of the unknown, knitted together by the potential of making history. Tomorrow we set foot on the ice, deploying all our equipment to start probing the depths that have defied exploration, Captain Morgan continued. The data we've gathered so far promises something unusual beneath the surface, but it's up to us to piece together the story. That night, the ship sat anchored, cradled by the frozen sea. The sky above was a sheet of shimmering stars, twinkling like diamonds strewn carelessly across black velvet. Inside the warmth of the ship, the group sat clustered around tables, sipping steaming mugs of coffee and hot cocoa. Whispers of plans, possibilities, and theories floated in the air like the wisps of steam rising from their cups. Benjamin, a young archaeologist with dreams as big as the ship he sailed on, sat next to Emily. His eyes were wide as he spoke. What if this city is where it all began? The first great hub of life and learning, buried and forgot. Emily nodded thoughtfully, smiling at his eagerness. It's possible it wouldn't be the first time history played tricks on us. Outside, the icy winds howled, but inside the ship, there was a glow of hope, a shared belief that they were on the brink of something incredible. As sleep called to them, each person dreamed of what they might find, of carved stone under the ice, stories trapped in crystals, heritage frozen in time itself. Dawn broke slowly, the sun a shy visitor to these frosted lands. The crew gathered on deck, their breaths pale puffs in the frigid air. They moved with purpose, eyes squinting against the sharp, biting wind, excitement pushing them forward like an unseen force. With careful steps, they trudged into the endless white expanse, pulling behind them sleds laden with gear designed to peer through the ice, to echo through time and space, and return with whispers of what lay below, among the hills of ice. The team worked tirelessly, sending signals into the depths in an effort to glean the secrets trapped there. The ice was a formidable barrier, but they chipped away, slowly, painstakingly, knowing that each sound, each beep and ping could potentially change how they saw their world. As the hours passed, the equipment finally began to yield tantalizing clues, vague outlines that hinted at symmetry and patterns, signs of something that was not just rock and ice. There were straight angles and circular shapes, a geometry not crafted by nature alone. The signals painted an exciting image beneath their feet, a map of what could be considered corridors and rooms, an unnatural design encased by thick glaciers. The group gathered around their small screen, hearts thumping against their insulated layers, eyes scanning the images again and again. The patterns could belong to structures, their minds racing with the possibilities of ancient homes, gathering places, or temples built by hands long forgotten. Benjamin whispered, his voice barely audible against the wind. "We have to go in." Emily nodded, her eyes reflecting the ice, clear and shining with determination. "We're closer than ever before. We have to find a way." The day passed in a flurry of activity, each of them driven by a singular purpose. They worked with a focused frenzy, driven by the eager hands of curiosity that pushed them forward, in search of tangible proof. All the while, the ice loomed, a keeper of tales that spun through their actions and thoughts as night crept over once more. The crew found themselves weary but alive with a sense of true discovery. They gathered once again around their makeshift camp, laughter and conversation filling the cold air, keeping at bay the chill that tried to settle in their bones. They shared stories from their lives, bound by an adventure that had claimed their hearts and minds. And so went their days, uncovering clues, battling against time and nature, and learning from the whispers of those who had come long before. Step by step, they pieced together a puzzle half buried, waiting patiently for them to reach out and see, to hear its songs, and maybe even to learn its secrets. Only time would tell what they would find in this frozen world. But amid the icy winds and endless white, hope shone bright, leading them ever forward, inviting them to look deeper, dream harder, believe stronger. The ice would not yield easily, but these brave souls had hearts warmed with certainty. For as long as there were mysteries to uncover, there would always be those daring enough to explore, to understand not just the world around them, but the past that shaped them as well. Chapter 2: The Frozen Mystery. Have you ever wondered what might be hidden under the thick ice of Antarctica? For us, it's a big, frozen mystery. People all around the world have been curious about that icy place for ages. It's so cold there that very few dare to visit, and even fewer stay long enough to look deeper. But what if, under all that ice and snow, there is a whole city waiting to be discovered? Let's imagine that long ago, before the ice came, people lived there. It's kind of hard to think about, but the Earth changes all the time. Who's to say there wasn't a time when Antarctica was warm and maybe even nice to live in? If that's true, maybe people back then built a city. Some folks think they might have been very smart and maybe had some amazing technology. Nowadays, with all our gadgets, we still can't see through that thick ice very well. Scientists have some special machines, and they keep trying to peek beneath the ice. They have found a few small hints that there's more to Antarctica than just ice and snow. Sometimes they discover odd shapes or unusual formations. Could these be part of a city? It's really exciting to think about what might be down there. Picture a city under all that ice. Maybe it's full of buildings made of strong stone, with grand archways and tall towers. There might have been houses, markets, and places where people gathered. Who knows? There might even be old treasures or libraries full of knowledge lost to time. We can only guess, but oh, what fun it is to imagine. Imagine the people who might have lived in such a city. How did they dress? What did they eat? Did they have stories and songs like we do now? It's a puzzle. Maybe they were like us, or maybe not at all. Maybe they were so advanced that the way they lived would surprise us today. Did they build those structures with tools and machines that we haven't even thought of yet? The possibility makes some scientists and explorers very eager to learn more. The weather and ice make it hard for anyone to go exploring there for long. Planes and ships can bring scientists close, but once they're there, working in such cold conditions is tough. The heavy snow can hide things quickly, leaving very few clues. But that's what makes every little discovery feel so special and exciting. From time to time, brave explorers have gone to try their luck, facing the freezing winds and biting cold. In the past, some expeditions reported strange sounds, like whispers, from the ice itself. Could those sounds be echoes of some vibrant city life, frozen in time? Perhaps when the world was being shaped long ago, these sounds somehow got trapped deep in the ice in recent years. More advanced tools have become available, and scientists hope these might help uncover some long-hidden secrets. Satellite images and radar technology have given us new ways to look beneath the ice. Although the pictures are not very clear, they inspire hope that one day we'll get the full picture. The interest in what lies under the ice isn't just from scientists. Many authors and storytellers have used the idea to create tales of adventure, wonder, and sometimes even danger. These stories captivate readers and make them wonder what could be possible. In some tales, what lies beneath is powerful beyond belief, and in others, it's a gentle reminder of nature's beauty and mystery. Why do we find the idea of a lost city so fascinating? Maybe it's because it reminds us that there's still so much about our planet we don't know. Even in places we've never seen, there are whispers of stories waiting to be told and mysteries yet to be solved. It gives us a sense of awe and wonder, and reminds us that the world is big and full of surprises. The hope of finding a hidden city beneath the icy surface gives a special thrill to those who dream of uncovering the past. Every year, new discoveries elsewhere in the world remind us that sometimes truth is stranger than fiction. Perhaps, one day, we'll find answers hidden in the ice of Antarctica, shedding light on the lives once led in those cold lands, forever changing our understanding of history. For now, we wait, hoping the ice will give up its secrets, little by little, leaving us always wondering and dreaming. Chapter 3: Secrets of the Lost Civilization. Imagine a world where deep under the thick ice and freezing winds, there lies a city so old that its secrets are known to no one living today. What would it be like? What stories could it tell? People have always looked for hidden places and forgotten stories, hoping to learn new things about our world and ourselves. You know how we like tales of pirates' treasures or hidden caves? This is kind of like that, but even more exciting and mysterious. Let's start by thinking about the ice. Antarctica is covered in it, making it one of the coldest places on Earth. Not many people live there because it's mostly ice and snow, stretching as far as the eye can see. But what if, tucked far beneath all that ice, there was once a place full of life? Maybe this place had tall buildings or wide streets, and maybe even gardens that people took care of long before the ice came. In this story, the city must have been built a very long time ago, when maybe, just maybe, Antarctica wasn't as cold as it is now. Can you picture the people of that time? They might have been different from us, with their own ways of living. They could have had their own language, clothes, and foods. They might have known things that we're still trying to understand today. Maybe they were great builders, creating huge structures with stones and tools long since forgotten under layers and layers of ice. The people who call Antarctica home today, mostly scientists and explorers, would be thrilled to find anything left over from such a civilization. These scientists are curious folks who study ice and climate, trying to understand how our world is changing. If they found even a small piece of pottery or a carved stone, it would be like finding a big, juicy clue in a mystery novel. It would give them a peek into the life and times of people who lived so long ago in such a faraway place. Imagine the kind of stories this discovery would inspire. Authors would want to write books about it, and directors might make movies or documentary series showing how people might have lived during that forgotten time. Children in school would learn new stories in history class, filling their minds with thoughts of grand cities and adventurous explorers. Now, let's think about the way people would try to uncover such a city. With all that ice, it's not an easy task. They would use special tools, like ground-penetrating radar, to look beneath without having to dig too much. It's kind of like having X-ray vision to peek under the surface of the Earth. Scientists would carefully measure and analyze what they find, discussing every possibility and piecing together the clues like a giant icy puzzle. The artifacts they might discover could include things like tools, perhaps made of bone or stone, worn smooth from use. Perhaps there could be jewelry made of unusual stones, hinting at what they found beautiful. Or maybe they'd find carvings marked with symbols and designs that we don't yet understand, telling stories of their gods, heroes, and everyday life. If we let our imagination fly, we can even wonder if they had a kind of technology we have never seen. Maybe they discovered something unique about the natural world, such as harnessing the power of the winds, or knowing secrets of the stars that guided them through dark nights. These ancient people could have been watchers of the sky, predicting seasons and weather patterns that influenced their lives. There also might have been plants and animals we've never seen living there, adapted to a different world before the ice claimed it all. Our scientists would study these remains and learn new lessons about evolution and adaptation. If explorers went down there now, they might find the bones of these creatures, preserved by cold and time, offering themselves as silent witnesses to history. Of course, not everything would have survived the harsh conditions through the ages, but every little thing found could join the greater story, a nearly invisible thread tying our newest scientists to their ancestors from millennia ago. This kind of discovery, like adding a page to a very old and long book, allows us to understand not just the story of one place, but the story of our whole world. What if we realize through this lost city that we are all connected in unexpected ways? People from different corners of the earth are intrigued by it, traveling from far and wide to experience it firsthand. So think about this exciting world where mysteries of ancient times lie dormant under miles of ancient ice. Each day, scientists, those brave enough to face the chilling winds and the lingering night, continue to decipher these secrets, dreaming of unlocking the past in meaningful ways. As they do, they reveal not just what was, but what could still be for humanity and Earth itself. Imagine what we might learn, how it might change the way we think about history, and even, in small ways, how we live today. It's a timeless tale, waiting to be told, right beneath the icy veil of Antarctica. Chapter 4: Echoes of an Ancient World. Imagine standing on the vast icy plains of Antarctica. It's so cold and stretches out endlessly. Just think, under all that ice, there could be something hidden away from the world. Who would have thought? Long ago, before ice buried the land, maybe there was life there, not just little plants and animals, but perhaps a whole city full of people. It's a wild idea, right? But when you think about it, our world is full of surprises. Whenever we think we know everything, there's always more to discover. Let's step back in time. Imagine a bustling city with tall buildings made of stone and people walking around, talking and trading goods. Picture the noise, the laughter, and the daily hustle and bustle. Of course, these people didn't have smartphones or cars. They lived simply, but were no less intelligent and creative than we are today. They built homes, made clothes, prepared food, and shared stories, just like us. They might have had their beliefs and traditions, things they held dear and passed down from generation to generation. Every culture does, right? Maybe they believed in spirits that lived in the sky or the sea, or perhaps they worshipped the sun that gave them light and warmth. Imagine the art they might have created, pieces of it possibly lying hidden under layers of ice now. Perhaps they carved stories on walls or made beautiful pottery decorated with symbols and patterns we can only guess about today. And then, one day, something changed. The world around them began to cool. Slowly at first, then faster. The sun's warmth wasn't enough to hold back the advancing ice. Maybe they didn't even notice it at first, just a little more snow than usual, a slightly cooler breeze, but soon it became clear that they couldn't stay. The cold was too much, and the growing ice swallowed their homes and streets, creating a massive frozen desert. Where did they go? Did they migrate to warmer places? Did they manage to take some of their culture and knowledge with them, or did it disappear along with their city? It's fascinating to think about the stories they took with them, myths, lore, and songs that maybe influenced other cultures without anyone knowing its true origins. Jump to the present day. Scientists are curious souls, always digging up the past, literally. If they were to find remnants of such a city beneath the ice, it would be groundbreaking. Imagine uncovering stone structures or ancient tools. How mind-blowing would it be? There would be so many questions to answer. Archaeologists would work tirelessly, hoping to piece together the life of those forgotten people in our modern world. Technology is a real hero. Satellites and radar can peer through ice to find things hidden beneath. We could imagine a team of experts bringing the past back to life through detailed excavation and research. Each artifact they find would help tell the story of this lost civilization. The idea would change how we see the history of our planet. Maybe it would explain some of the unanswered mysteries about human migrations or ancient climate changes. We're talking about some hefty shifts in what we know about where and how people lived tens of thousands of years ago. What about the effect on our imagination, though? Think of all the books, movies, and art that might be inspired by such a discovery. The sheer wonder of it all. Songs written about a city of ice long forgotten. Plays about the lives and loves of a people displaced by time and nature's whim. It would provide endless fodder for storytellers everywhere. Then there's the biggie. What might this mean for climate change discussions today? If this city thrived and vanished before recorded history, the reasons for its disappearance could offer clues about Earth's weather patterns and changes. It might help us predict the future by understanding the past. So, whenever you look at maps of Antarctica now, think about the mysteries beneath the surface. It's fun to consider what treasures and tales lie beneath the ice, waiting to be uncovered. The idea might just be something of fantasy, a playful leap of imagination, but it's these very thoughts that drive people to explore, discover, and learn more about the world we call home. Isn't it amazing that no matter how much we know, there's always something waiting, just out of sight, to remind us there's so much more to learn? Chapter 5. Mapping the Unknown. Imagine a place covered with thick ice that's miles deep. We know it as Antarctica, a continent so cold and distant that not many people actually think about it in their daily lives. But what if this place, which seems so quiet and empty, was hiding something incredible? What if, underneath all that ice, there was a lost city waiting to be found? For a long time, people have been fascinated by tales of lost cities. There's something so exciting about the idea of uncovering a place where people lived long ago, a place that might hold secrets about the past. In this adventure, scientists, explorers, and dreamers are all trying to uncover the mysteries beneath Antarctica's icy surface. Let's picture this icy world for a moment. You see snow everywhere, as far as the eye can see. It feels like a giant, frozen desert. But while it looks nothing like other places on Earth, it shares a hidden world beneath, possibly full of stories from ancient times. Beneath the crust of snow and ice, under layers that have built up over thousands of years, could there really be a city that no one has seen in a very long time? People in past centuries could only dream of what lay under the ice. But now, we have all sorts of new technology that helps us look deeper and go farther than before. Scientists are using special tools and machines, like satellites, that can take pictures from high above, or radars that can peek deep into the ground. These amazing gadgets have already changed what we know about our planet by revealing hidden lakes and mountains beneath the ice. Could they help us find something even more astonishing, like a lost civilization? Imagine setting out on an adventure to a land where the cold cuts through the thickest jacket, and every breath feels sharp with chill. You join a team of explorers packed with all the gear you need to stay safe and warm. You travel over the ice, moving slowly but surely, as each step brings you closer to the unknown. Along with you are scientists who spent years studying maps and images, trying to piece together clues. Even in such an extreme place, everyone's spirit is high. There is a shared sense of hope and excitement. Every day brings new challenges, whether from the weather or the difficult ice terrain. Each day also holds new possibilities, and there's always the chance that one more dig, one more scan, or one more measurement might uncover something extraordinary. The team uses ground-penetrating radar, an instrument that sends signals deep into the ice and listens for echoes. It can detect layers of rock, water, and maybe even signs of human life. Each analysis of the radar pictures can be thrilling, like watching a mystery unfold. Sometimes their maps show regular shapes that might be natural, but occasionally there's something unexpected, an underground shape that hints at being built by hand and not by nature. Throughout this journey, the explorers think about the people who might have lived here if the stories were true. Who were they? How did they survive in what seems like an impossible place? with excitement. They speculate about how these humans could have thrived when the ice was thinner thousands of years ago. Perhaps during a time when the Earth's climate was different. Down in the ice, the work is careful and methodical. It takes patience to wait for good weather, and it's important to keep everyone safe and healthy. Step by step, they dig, scan, and explore. Each new map they create adds a little more to the story. One day, the pieces might all fit together, showing not just ruins or artifacts, but a complete picture of an ancient way of life. Antarctica's silence is truly special. Sometimes there are no sounds except the whispers of the wind and the distant creaks of the ice. Underneath it all, however, might be a sleeping world, a city waiting for the right moment to wake and share its story. Finding a lost city would not only be an incredible discovery, but also change how we think about history. The idea of uncovering ancient secrets sparks everyone's imagination and curiosity. Finding something beneath the ice could solve long-standing puzzles about human settlement and migration, offering answers to scientists, historians, and all of us who are drawn to tales of exploration. In this journey, it's not just about the destination or even the discovery. It's equally about the sense of wonder, the relentless pursuit of the truth, and the thrill of mapping a world no one has seen for countless generations. It's about the possibility that even in a place that feels so far from home, there might be a connection, a link to human stories that enrich our understanding of the past and give hope for the future. Chapter 6: Legends and Lore. Once upon a time, there were many stories told of great cities in far-off lands. These cities were said to be full of magic, wealth, and mysteries. Some people dreamed of visiting them, while others thought they were just tales. But what if there was a city hidden beneath the cold, icy blanket of Antarctica? When people hear about frozen landscapes, they picture penguins waddling across the ice or seals resting lazily in the sun. Antarctica is like a giant freezer packed with snow and ice, and it might sound improbable for any city to be there. But hidden under all that whiteness, there could be a place waiting to be found. Imagine explorers standing at the edge of this icy continent. The wind cold against their faces, they might see nothing but miles of snow and ice. However, beneath their feet, there could be an ancient city that once buzzed with life. Imagine ruins of grand buildings, stone streets, and perhaps even statues standing silently in the dark, frozen in time. Many legends speak of cities of gold, places where the streets shimmered under the sun. While gold seems unlikely in a place so cold, stories can change over time. These tales could merely describe a city that was, in its own right, extremely advanced and prosperous. There might have been smart inventions and beautiful artistry. There could have been wisdom passed down through generations. Things we could learn if only we could see them. The people who might have lived in such a city would have had to adapt to a harsh environment. They might have worn thick, insulating furs and built shelters to stand up to the icy winds. They could have heated their homes with geothermal warmth from beneath the Earth's crust. Perhaps they were skilled hunters and fishers, or even farmers, in a way we cannot yet imagine. They might have had trade routes that crossed vast distances, bringing in goods and ideas from lands far away. Scientists today seek answers about Earth's past through clues, like fossils and rock formations. Underneath those layers of ice, there might be evidence of a city that the world has forgotten. Even though it's hard to believe, there are myths from different parts of the world that talk about incomprehensible great civilizations, cities lost in time. Some people think that if we look deep into these tales, there might be grains of truth hidden in the myth? What if the stories of great floods that washed away cities actually happened at the end of an ice age, when the world was reshaped by melting ice? This melting might have concealed people's homes under newly formed rivers and seas. It's thrilling to think about what kind of art they might have created. Sculptures carved not from ice, but from stone or ivory. The music they played could be imagined, melodies carried by winds across icy plains. Languages that were once spoken would have filled the air with poetry and song, now silent. In these, we might also find stories of gods and heroes, figures larger than life, who taught and protected the people. Every civilization has its myths, and these tales might have been passed along, growing with each telling. These heroes might have performed great deeds to fend off creatures of the cold, or to seize warmth and light from a frozen realm. If such a city did exist, it can be thrilling to ponder who might have lived there and what happened to them. Why did they vanish beneath layers of snow and ice? Did they move away, their home becoming nothing more than a memory over the centuries? Or did they stay, gradually becoming part of the icy landscape? Explorers and adventurers dream of uncovering these secrets. They are drawn to the idea that under the miles of ice is a puzzle waiting to be solved. If found, such a city could change everything we know about our planet's history and the peoples who once inhabited it. Perhaps it might even answer questions we didn't know existed, offering insights into the ancient ways of life. It's an adventure that might take a lifetime to explore, filled with both hope and mysterious allure. People love mysteries and the idea that there is more to our world than meets the eye. What could be more intriguing than the possibility of discovering a place lost to time? While science and reason offer paths to understanding the physical world, the tales of old offer a glimpse into how humans interpret their surroundings in magical ways. Perhaps, someday, under Antarctica's icy grip, there might be a new legend born, one of discovery, resonance, and wonder. If this city is ever found, it would be like uncovering a chapter of history all of its own, telling us more about who we are and where we came from. Chapter 7. Technology Buried Deep. Imagine, for a second, standing at the end of the world, surrounded by nothing but ice that stretches as far as the eye can see. This is Antarctica, a place so cold and remote that it feels like you're on another planet. But what if, deep beneath that thick blanket of ice, lies an ancient city, long forgotten but holding secrets that could change everything we know about history? It's a thrilling thought, isn't it? Just below the surface, perhaps hidden for thousands of years, could be the remnants of a thriving place, a city bustling with life and technology beyond our wildest dreams, a secret that has been waiting patiently to be discovered. Now picture the journey of a modern-day exploration team, bundled up in layers of warm clothing. They're equipped with all kinds of high-tech gadgets. Why do they endure this harsh climate, you might ask? That's simple. They're chasing a mystery, a tale that has intrigued humans for decades. They're determined to find out what's hidden beneath the ice. As the team makes its way across the frozen expanse, they rely on technology more than ever before. Ordinary compasses and maps wouldn't dare to brave such an icy wilderness alone. Instead, they use ground-penetrating radar that sends signals deep into the ice, searching for anything unusual underneath that could be man-made. They're hoping to catch a glimpse of a structured pattern that nature wouldn't create on her own. Let's take a moment to consider this radar. It's a marvel of modern science. Just think, not long ago, such a tool didn't exist. Now, it allows humans to see what their eyes can't, to peer into places that have been hidden for millennia. It hums softly as it rolls over the snow, interpreting the echoes of its signals, gradually painting a picture of what might lie below. This technology is a bit like magic, turning the darkness beneath the ice into a canvas of potential discovery. But technology is not just about radar. There are robots too, small and mighty machines that scurry beneath the ice, guided by expert engineers from hundreds of miles away. These robots carry cameras and sampling tools, ready to capture evidence and bring back stories from a world unknown. Each sample they collect, each image they capture, pieces together the puzzle one small step at a time. Can you imagine if they found ruins beneath there, signs of roads or buildings or walls? What if they uncovered tools or even ancient artifacts that suggest a civilization far more advanced than we've dared to dream? It's possible. It might sound like science fiction, but science thrives on asking what if and then finding ways to answer. What a thrill to think of the data being analyzed back at a warm, bustling base camp. Scientists excitedly huddle around computer screens, reading every detail, every nuance the machines have collected. They discuss theories and compare notes, driven by the desire to unlock the mysteries that not even the harshest conditions could keep forever. As the exploration continues, the question remains: if there once was a city here, who were its people? Did they have knowledge that we lost over time, submerged beneath layers of ice? Maybe they were adept at creating devices or methods we have only recently begun to replicate. Or perhaps their society fell due to a disaster, one that could offer a lesson to our modern world. And then there's the idea of technology itself. If people lived here long before us, what did their technology look like? Could they have harnessed geothermal energy from beneath the ice? Or did they use the sun differently despite the long winter darkness? These questions are endless and each one more exciting than the last. Such thinking is not just about uncovering the past, but connecting it to our future. There's potential here for a greater understanding of where humanity has been and where it might be going. The more we discover, the more we realize how much is left unknown. The exploration team has a long road ahead. With each step, each piece of technology they deploy, they edge closer to revealing what truly lies beneath. Whatever it may be, it promises to reshape our views on history and the resilience of humanity in unexpected ways. Isn't it wonderful to think that with every tick of the clock, we are one step closer to uncovering the truths of this wild, white land? Chapter 8: The Subterranean Realm. Have you ever thought that there might be a hidden world somewhere under the thick sheets of ice and snow in the far frozen land of Antarctica? Imagine this for a moment. As you look out over the endless blanket of white, where the wind howls and the temperatures are so low it's like nature's freezer, there lies a completely different world beneath all that ice. It's not something anyone would expect in a place that seems so cold and empty. But this is the realm we are talking about. Picture yourself standing on the icy surface. There's nothing but snow, stretching far and wide. Your breath comes out in small clouds as you stand wrapped in layers of heavy clothing. It's hard to believe that beneath your feet, deep down where it's warmer than you'd think, might be an entire city bustling with secrets. Just like any other city, it might have roads, buildings, and maybe even people, law creatures, that have somehow adapted to live in such a hidden place. Now, how could such a city exist at all? It's something many minds have pondered. Scientists have discovered that underneath Antarctica's thick ice sheet, there are huge networks of subglacial rivers and lakes. These have been carved out over thousands, maybe millions of years. It's not impossible to think that, at some point in Earth's long history, a civilization might have found itself there, isolated from the rest of the world by layers of ice. Imagine being an explorer, one of the few daring enough to venture beneath the icy surface. You're part of a small team equipped with advanced technology meant to bore through the ice, aimed at uncovering mysteries that the world above still cannot explain. The initial descent is nothing short of terrifying. As layers of ice whiz past you, it's like entering a time capsule. Each layer holding stories of a forgotten past, frozen in time. As you travel deeper, it's not just ice anymore. The environment begins to change. It's warmer here, with geothermal vents that create pockets of heated air. These vents are like natural furnaces, and you begin to understand how life, in all its forms, might have found ways to endure in such places. The deeper you go, the more exciting and mysterious it becomes. It feels like descending not just through ice, but through history itself, to a world untouched by modern human hands. Now, imagine reaching the bottom where the ice gives way to something totally unexpected, a valley spread out like a frozen sea laid bare, graced with sparkling towers of crystalline ice. Structures appear before you as if an artist chiseled them there, casting long shadows that dance upon the icy ground. It's quite the magnificent sight. The city, if it can be called that, unfolds like a pearl within an oyster, hidden away until discovered by a curious traveler such as yourself. You walk along paths that possibly have not felt footsteps in hundreds, if not thousands, of years. Every corner of the city tells a story, if only you can decipher it. What once took place in these cold streets? Were there markets, schools, or places of gathering? The questions grow with every step, each one a silent echo among the ruins. Think about the possibilities. People who adapted to live in lights that are just a bit dimmer, on streets that never see the moon or stars. Perhaps they created their own stars with glowing stones or magical lights, lighting up their city in enchanting patterns. Maybe they left behind languages and stories etched into walls, waiting for anyone brave enough to come and listen. Now, it's also possible, in this imagined world beneath the ice, that there are other forms of life, creatures we couldn't even dream of, shaped by the unique world surrounding them, creatures that swim through the subglacial lakes like fish in the sea, or strange beings camouflaged among ice and stone, pale from generations under the surface without sunlight. The atmosphere is dense with mystery and a feeling of timelessness. Everything is so quiet that it feels the air itself is listening, a part of history that doesn't want to be disturbed. It's like a massive, natural cathedral where the ice itself is a ceiling, sky high above you, and you're just a visitor trying to uncover its secrets. When the time comes to ascend, to return to the world of bright sunlight and loud noises, it's with a heavy heart. You've glimpsed a forgotten chapter of the earth. It's a rare and valuable find, something that can change how we see history and the world. It's not just a place. It stands as a testament to the planet's endless ability to surprise us. As you emerge from this icy solace, back into the wind and snow, that hidden, silent city might as well have been a dream. This vision of a hidden world makes you wonder, what other secrets lie beneath vast layers of ice or earth across our world, just waiting for intrepid explorers to discover? There's so much we still don't know about our own planet. The thought lingers with you, bringing both comfort and excitement as you step back into the frigid embrace of the Antarctic wind. The world, after all, is full of wonders, both above and below the surface. Chapter 9. Archaeological Odyssey. Imagine a place so cold, so far away, and so covered in ice that most people don't even think much about it. That's Antarctica. It's a huge, snowy land at the bottom of the world. Penguins live there, and sometimes scientists in big, heavy coats with lots of warm clothes go there to study the ice, the weather, or the animals. But what if, under all that snow and ice, there was something amazing waiting to be found? Picture this, a sunny day, the sun's rays bouncing off the ice in a way that makes everything so bright you can hardly keep your eyes open. A group of excited scientists, bundled in their warmest jackets, are standing on a big patch of ice. They all have fancy tools in their hands. Some are using machines that beep and flash to look through the ice, while others are writing down notes in little waterproof notebooks. They look like they've just discovered something really exciting. Deep down beneath them, hidden for thousands of years, there might be remains of a city that no one knows about. They can't see it yet, not really. All they have is some strange readings on their screens and a few bumps and lines that show up on their radar. But they believe so much that they can almost see the streets and buildings in their imaginations now. You might wonder, how could a city end up under all that ice? Well, there's a theory going around that a long, long time ago, Antarctica wasn't always a frozen place. Some say it might have been warmer, with plants growing and animals roaming around. And if it was warmer, maybe people lived there too. Maybe they built homes and towns, just like people do everywhere else. The scientists start planning how they can find out more. They want to dig down, drill through the ice, but it's not easy. The ice is incredibly thick, and it's really cold. They have to be careful, because if they dig in the wrong spot, they might miss the city completely. Plus, there's the weather. Storms can come out of nowhere. Sometimes the wind blows so hard it feels like it could lift you off your feet. They need to make sure everything is safe, because there's no hospital nearby, and flying someone out in an emergency would take a long time. After weeks of careful preparation, they start drilling. It's slow, and it takes days. They have to work in shifts to keep going around the clock. Little by little, the drill goes deeper. The team is tired but hopeful. In their hearts, they believe they're about to find something that could change everything we know about history. Then one day, the drill makes a different sound. It's subtle, a change only someone listening carefully would notice. But it's enough to get the scientists excited all over again. They stop the machine and use a special camera, snaking it down the hole they've made to have a closer look at what's below. As the camera gets deeper, the images come through on a screen. It's hard to make out at first, blurry because of the cold and the tiny particles floating around. But then, something clear appears, a pattern that couldn't possibly be natural. The camera shows what looks like a wall, with lines that are too straight to be anything other than man-made. The room erupts in cheers. They've found something that no human being has seen with their own eyes for who knows how long. Now they have to figure out what it is and how to get down to it. That's not going to be easy. They might need more equipment, maybe even support from experts around the world to help with the discovery. People around the globe soon learn about the find. It's in the newspapers and on TV. Some people say it's an incredible discovery, while others are more skeptical. They wonder if it's really what the team thinks it is. But the team doesn't let doubt slow them down. They want to map the area under the ice, creating a puzzle that fits together piece by piece. Back in Antarctica, the team continues to work day and night. They use the camera to look around more, to see if there are other structures hidden under the ice nearby. And every new discovery answers one question but asks 10 more. They find what might be pathways and maybe pieces of pottery or stone tools that could tell the story of the people who lived there. On some level, it's like a kid's adventure story come to life. You imagine explorers finding treasure maps in old books and setting off on daring journeys. Only this is real life, and the treasure is history understanding how it unfolds and what it means to today's world. If this was once a city, how did it survive? What gods did its people worship? And what events led to its ultimate burial in ice? The world waits for more news, and the scientists keep on working. Just the idea that something grand and ancient might be hiding under ice makes people's minds wander. They think about ancient myths of lost lands and how stories from the past could hold a grain of truth as the days turn into weeks. The team knows they have a long road ahead. Each discovery will raise more questions, require more study, but they are ready, eager even, to continue their journey of exploration. They know that there's much more to learn, and for them, that's the true heart of the adventure. Chapter 10. Unveiling the Mystery. Imagine sitting by a warm fire, the soft glow dancing over the walls as a cold wind howls outside. You're wrapped in a big, cozy blanket, sipping hot cocoa. Now picture being in a place much colder and far more mysterious. The vast, icy expanse of Antarctica. For years, people have dreamed about what could be hidden beneath its thick, icy shell. It's the kind of thing that keeps adventurers and dreamers awake at night, pondering the secrets hidden away by time and the elements. Antarctica is this wild, untouched land, and it's hard for most of us to picture what life could be like there, with its endless white snow stretching as far as the eye can see. The thought that anything besides snow and ice could lie beneath is both intriguing and mind-boggling. But let's let our imaginations take the lead for a while. Many believe there's something down there, hidden below layers of ice that have piled up over millions of years. It's like thinking about what's at the bottom of the ocean. It could be anything. The idea that an ancient city could be frozen in time, waiting for someone to find it, is an exciting adventure waiting to happen. It's like the stories we hear of Atlantis, that lost city beneath the sea, yet this one would be under ice rather than water. People might wonder how such an incredible place could end up there. One idea is that long ago, when the Earth's continents were all jumbled differently, Antarctica might have been a place of green hills and warm sunshine. If people lived there back then, they might have built great cities. Imagine buildings made of stone and wood, sitting under a bright sun, maybe by rivers or lakes that have long since disappeared. Over countless years, the Earth shifted and changed, putting Antarctica right where it is now. As the Earth cooled and ice started to cover the land, this city would have been buried, just like how snow covers the ground in winter, hiding everything until spring. The ice and snow of Antarctica have hidden what might be beneath for ages. It's like a giant, natural blanket that's kept all those old secrets safe. In more recent times, scientists have developed tools that let them peek beneath the ice without having to dig or drill. They use radar and other instruments that can send signals deep down into the ice. When the signals come back, they paint a picture of what might be hidden from sight. These tools have shown valleys, mountains, and even rivers of ice flowing under the surface. But could they uncover something even more fantastic? The thought that someday one of these missions might reveal large structures, walls, or even hints of city streets is enough to fill anyone with wonder. What if people from way back had left something behind for us to find? Perhaps carvings or records of their lives, their stories, their dreams. It makes you wonder if, locked in the ice, there could be artifacts that tell of another time, another world living just above what we now call the coldest and most desolate place on Earth. Imagine discovering tools, artworks, or writings that describe how people lived in a place that no longer exists. These would be treasures beyond any we've found before, offering a direct line into the mind of a civilization lost to time. The possibility of a lost city also teases the imagination with thoughts of who those people might have been. Would their ways be like ours, or utterly different? How would they have dealt with changes in their environment, and what might they have known about the world around them? Could they have had knowledge or technology that we've never seen? These questions spark curiosity and remind us of all there is still to explore and understand about our planet. There are whispers and stories too, tales of explorers who ventured too far, claimed to have seen things that seemed out of place in the vast whiteness, odd shapes against the stark landscape. While sometimes they're just stories, fueling a fire that drives others to look for proof, they keep the heart of exploration alive. What if some of it were true? Glimpses caught from the corner of an eye, hints of ancient stone visible only when the light strikes just right. Even as technology advances, unlocking more of Antarctica's secrets, bit by bit, the heart of adventure still beats in those willing to brave the cold to find out what lies beneath. Maybe one day, someone will walk across the ice and find the entrance to a hidden world frozen in time. A reminder of how vast and diverse our history truly is. As you sit there, warm and curious, maybe you'll dream of what lies hidden beneath Antarctica's icy covering. It's a story waiting to be written, an adventure waiting to unfold. And who knows, maybe one day you'll be the one to help unlock its mysteries. Until then, it's a mystery that keeps the spirit of discovery alive, reminding us of all the wonders the world still has to offer.